同学们，大家好，欢迎你回来学习中文的语法。这是向老师。So welcome back, and this is Dr. Shan. We are in this series of grammar in context for advanced language proficiency and development. This is part 2. So we have finished the part where we practice discourse particles using sentence level examples. Now we're going to practice by giving you a number of pairs of examples and ask you to think how they are different. It helps you to raise conscious awareness of the differences between the choices. So we're going to see pairs of examples where you have different possible choices of the discourse particles. They do not make black and white grammatical differences, like as if this is correct, this is absolutely incorrect. They're more about nuances in meaning, what kind of messages you're conveying. So my question for you is, within the choices you have, what is the difference? The first example gives the scenario of you choosing a neighborhood to live in. So 我挺喜欢我住的这个小区 neighborhood 挺 pretty much 我挺喜欢我住的这个小区绿化很好又安全或也安全可是房价有点高 So the word here 绿化 it's a special vocabulary to refer to the degree of coverage by green in the area. For example, lots of trees, lots of grass. That is called 绿化. So I really like this neighborhood I live in. The green coverage is good and also it's safe, but the real estate pricing is a bit high. So you can, now we are commenting on the neighborhood. It's green coverage, 绿化. It's safety, 安全. So I can use either 又安全绿化很好又安全 or 绿化很好也安全 The difference is very subtle, not a huge difference, but when you say 又安全 you are presenting safety as on top of green coverage. When you use 也安全 you will position the two advantages as back side by side. So the next example, it's a different kind of difference. So I'm going to ask you. This is from encyclopedia. So the vocabulary relatively more formal. 海下的珊瑚现在都被保护起来了，即使在水下，或就算在水下，也只能触摸，不能采摘。So we saw this example in our Learn unit. 海下的珊瑚现在都被保护起来了，即使在水下，或就算在水下，也只能触摸，不能采摘。So the coral reefs under the ocean, now they're all protected. Even if they are under the water, they can only be touched, they cannot be harvested. So what is the difference between 即使 and 就算? And they form a pattern with 也. Even if, still. Right? So the answer is that they are different in register. Register is the degree of formality you have to adhere to when you communicate. 即使 is more formal. It gives people the sense that you are talking in a formal way. So you often see this in writing or in formal conferences. 就算 is more colloquial, less formal. So another pair. 弟弟长得比哥哥还高. So with the adverb 还 before the adjective 高. 弟弟长得比哥哥还高. The second is without the adverb. 弟弟长得比哥哥高. So this difference is rather apparent with the addition of 还, you are framing both of the siblings as tall children, as tall. 哥哥 is tall, 弟弟 is even taller. The second example only gives us information that the younger brother is taller than the older brother. That's it. So they are not especially tall themselves, not necessarily. We don't know if the elder brother is tall. So this pair. 我还以为你要去中国呢，怎么没去成? So you thought someone's going to go to China, and then the next day you saw them, and you say, okay, I thought you already are been to China. How come you haven't gone? 我还以为你要去中国呢，怎么没去成？我也以为你要去中国呢，怎么没去成？ So here the differences between using 还 and 也 are rather big. 我还以为 as a chunk together gives the sense that, oh, I even thought so, and I've been thinking like that. Now I saw my thinking was incorrect. So you came upon something counter expectation, you can use 还以为 to say that's what I've been thinking, now I'm corrected. Versus 我也以为 together doesn't have that kind of counter to expectation connotation. It basically says someone else thought so, and I also think so. So it's more as a quantity addition, like someone else is thinking like I do. 我也以为你要去中国呢. My wife thought so, and you are thinking, I'm thinking so as well. 我也以为你要去中国呢，怎么没去成? So the second, next example, 你连飞机票都买不起. So you can't even afford air tickets. 又想去旅游，还想去旅游. So what is the difference between using 又想去旅游 or 还想去旅游? This difference is rather big and also subtle as well. 你连飞机票都买不起，又想去旅游 focuses on the idea of traveling as single event that can be repeated. So you can't afford air tickets, and now you're thinking of traveling again? Don't do that. 又想去旅游 has the idea of this activity going to be repeated again. On the other hand, if we say 你连飞机票都买不起，还想去旅游 doesn't have the sense of again. It carries the sense of counter expectation, linking this to the previous idea that you can't even afford air tickets and you even want to go travel. That doesn't work together. So 还 doesn't give the idea of traveling again, but rather it connects with the previous idea of being not able to afford air tickets and yet still want to go travel. There's a lack of coherence in the logic there. There's counter expectation there, so it's more your mental judgment of the situation. Okay, so I hope you find these contrasting pairs useful. Next, coming up, we're gonna do practice by longer stretches of discourse examples. 好的，先到这里，谢谢大家。